Okay, so as the title of this video says or suggests, we're going to talk about Kelley Blue Book,
Yeah.
Edmunds, Red Book, Black Book, Green Book, Blue Book. I already said Blue Book. All the different book values and which ones the dealers use and why your trade-in is never actually what it says in that online quote thing. But before we do, Pops,
Yeah.
we got to pay some bills.
Okay.
And how are we going to do that?
Well, I don't know. We're going to send Jeff an invoice because I'm about to tell you folks that if you want to find the best car price, the best place to go is to findthebestcarprice.com/insider, where Jeff and his team have compiled, aggregated, and compared all of the manufacturer to consumer programs that are out there this month based on make and model. Sorry, I screwed that portion up, but it's okay because the bottom line is that all the information you need to find the best car price is at www.findthebestcarprice.com/insider.
Yeah, link down below. Okay, so Pops, let's jump right into it.
Okay.
We've got all the different books.
Yeah, lots of books.
And if I'm not mistaken, in the industry, it's called book values, correct?
Yes. Yeah.
So when you appraise a vehicle,
Yes.
what book value, as a sales manager or used car manager, like talk to us about book values, trade-ins, stuff like that, and then let's pull it back to like specifically about the different ones.
It depends on the dealership that you work in, but most dealerships have subscribed to a VAuto, which is a used car appraisal and retailing portal that you can use for
software.
Software. That was the word I was looking for. And for appraising, it provides you with all the different book values. So when you look up a car, it'll provide you with the Black Book values, the Kelley Blue Book values, the NADA book values, the Green Book, the Red Book, the Purple Book.
There is actually a Red Book, and then Edmunds is the other book.
You know, and the Red Book was a ladies' magazine. That's all I remember. I believe my mother used to read it. But that's besides the point. So, and then the other thing of great significance and importance in VAuto was that it would provide you with the Manheim market report as to what those vehicles were averaging at the auction. So an appraiser would look at all the books. He'd pick the lowest one that he possibly could to share with the customer to justify why he was offering the customer as little as he was.
Yep.
And go from there. So, for instance, the customer would always say, but Kelley Blue Book suggests, and I will tell you that 99.9% of people in the automobile industry, when they hear that, would look at you and go, but Kelley Blue Book's never written a check for a car yet.
Yep.
Okay.
So let's just be clear. So KBB book values.
Yes.
The reason you take that piece of paper in and then you get the offer from the dealership that's like $2,000 or $3,000 less is because it's wrong.
Well, it's wrong because it's not accurate. It doesn't.
Yeah.
It's not reflective of what dealers.
It sets bad expectations.
It does, and it's not reflective of what dealers look at when they look at cars because customers tend to believe their cars that they're trading in are always in much better shape and worth more than they actually are. And then a good appraiser is really going to look and listen and drive the vehicle to determine what type of reconditioning it very well may need, and going to factor in the cost of that reconditioning.
Yep.
And is going to then base what they want to offer you for it, not necessarily on a book value as much as they're going to want to base it off of what the vehicles are bringing at Manheim.
Sure. But let's be clear. Maybe you can expand upon this a little bit.
Okay.
The book values, these are companies that every single day are setting values in that geographic region for what a car is worth. They're looking at how it's depreciating. I mean, just for perspective here, like, the clients of the Black Books and the Blue Books of the world are financial institutions, dealerships. And that's generally speaking about it. Their consumer-facing products are really meant to like do lead gen for dealers. Like the reason you go to KBB is so that then KBB can make money by selling your info to their dealer network. So like KBB is actually in the business of they could care. They just want your traffic. So giving you the highest valuation is part and parcel of their business plan.
I mean, it's if you're selling your car privately, then Kelley Blue Book's a great tool for you to share with whoever's coming in to look at your car. If you're going to a dealership, you're going to be disappointed because the dealer isn't going to be anywhere near Kelley Blue Book. The dealer is usually going to utilize MMR and Black Book because those two are much more reflective of what the real market is and what those vehicles are bringing on a wholesale level.
Well, let's just be honest. Black Book numbers.
Do we have to be?
I prefer it.
Okay.
Black Book numbers are more conservative, so the dealers can make more money. So you just need to. You got to level set with that, which is the reason you're never going to get Blue Book value is because if the dealership bought it at Blue Book value, they're going to make less money reselling it.
Yes.
Period. They like the Black Book numbers because the Black Book numbers are more conservative, so they can make more money when they go and sell it.
Yes.
That doesn't mean that as someone selling my car, I should just take whatever the trade-in offer is. No.
Negotiate it.
And to negotiate it, get a quote from Carvana, get a quote from Vroom, get a quote from CarMax. You have a lot more options today than you did in the past.
There was a comment today from a gentleman from the United Kingdom.
Yeah.
And he was wondering if the same theory would apply where you don't tell the dealer in England that you have a trade until after you've made your deal on the car. And I said, I'm not really familiar with how they sell cars in England, but I would think if there's a negotiation process, then they should always be two separate transactions. One, first you're buying the car. Then you're turning around and you're selling a car, and the dealership is becoming the buyer.
Potentially, or you could sell it somewhere else. Yes. And that's the whole point.
Yes. And so I would think if you negotiate to end up buying a car, then you can hold the trade out to the end and do it as a separate transaction, even in England. I would think they would do that everywhere in Europe. I mean, because in Europe, they're really known for their negotiating and haggling over everything.
But okay, so let's pull back to the title of it. The difference between Blue Book, Black Book, Red Book, Edmunds, NADA. Can I summarize as simply as this in saying everything except for Black Book and the Manheim Market report is kind of just lead gen for dealers through those channels?
Well, I mean, it could be. I mean, to a large degree.
Are dealers using them?
Yes. But, that's...
You're telling me, so there are dealers out there that use KBB as their book of choice?
Oh, no. That use KBB for lead generation.
Oh, yeah. So let's be clear. Yeah. My question to you is, do dealers use anything other? Most dealers use anything other than Black Book and MRR.
It's regional. It's regionalized, but in most of the country, dealers use Black Book.
Yeah, and then
there are some parts of the country where dealers use Blue Book
or maybe even NADA.
NADA is usually used by the lending institution to establish what a loan value would be for a vehicle.
Interesting.
And so that's where NADA really comes in handy. Nobody uses NADA
on a trade
for appraising the car. They only refer to NADA for a loan value on the car.
Really?
Yes.
Interesting.
Yes.
What's the why behind that?
Because it's higher.
So you can start to see here, all these book values serve a purpose in the industry.
Yeah,
the Blue Books, the Edmunds are lead gen. The Black Book is conservative, so I can make money on the sale of the trade-in.
And NADA is what allows a bank to say, okay, the real retail value of the car should be X, even though every other book is suggesting that it's Y, which is less.
Okay, so this is why we created Your Auto Advocate, yourautoadvocate.com, all the guides and things like that, all the videos. It's to bring to light that last 30 seconds right there is hopefully why you watch these videos. That's great, Dad. I think
but NADA comes in handy.
Sure.
When people are trying to finance the car, and so they can make the arrangements. Because everything's based on loan to value.
Yep.
And you want the value to be higher, so that it will appear that with the customer's cash down that they fall within the guidelines.
Comment down below your experiences with the different books, or also if we missed a book. Neither of us have read a book, so also make some book recommendations.
I'm trying to think. What's So the last book I read, Dr. Seuss. Yeah, it's been a while, folks. Yeah.
All right, Pops. Thanks for your time as always.
Thank you, Zach.